So I want to ask you something. Who believe, and this is a serious question, all right? It's not just a learned question. Who believe that as a Christian, you can sin? It's not a guessing game. We're fellowshipping. We're like, I want to know from out there too, if you believe as a son or daughter of God, you can sin. If anybody call, let me know, James. Any question about that? Yes.
I used to think that.
Do you think that now?
I used to think that.
Right.
Now, after listening to you, no, I do not.
Do you think that because I said it, or you can see it for yourself?
I can see it. I think I was sharing last Sunday, there were, when I was believing that, there was certain sin that I was falling back into, and I just didn't understand if I was saved and just things like that. But when you say that we are sons and daughters of God, and just, I don't know, it was just encouraging to hear that, and it makes me want to walk holy.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. The young lady just walked in. Because I was thinking of you this morning when I thought about this. Do you truly believe as a Christian you cannot sin? I mean, that you can sin. I'm sorry to put it on you as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
And be honest, it's not a test, it's a fellowship. I have something I want to share with you about it.
Well, the reason I don't know how to answer it because I don't know what you call yourself when you're in the state of growing in Christ. Or
as a Christian, were you sinning before you came here? You can be honest and
right before I came.
And Caesar doesn't mind.
I don't think so. But I don't know what to call it when you're growing. You know, I think you can still mess up when you're growing. And I think that you want us to believe in perfection, and I'm willing to go there.
No,
I'll believe in perfection.
I don't want you guys to believe in it.
Okay.
I want y'all to suffer and die. I want you to want it. You know what I'm saying? Really?
Well, yeah.
Y'all can. I'm just putting the word out there. Here's the way
I'll say I believe it's possible. I believe it's possible to be perfect as a Christian, to not sin. I think it's possible.
So I want to ask you this. There's this guy by the name of, and I hate these kind of stories, especially for men, because men are always accused and attacked. But I want to bring this up and ask you, what do you think about this? That's the only way I'm bringing it up, all right? And then I have a point to make about it. There's this preacher by the name of John Gray. You ever heard of him?
No.
He's a big-time TV evangelist. Am I right, Amos? And he worked for, at one time I know he worked for, what's that wheat preacher name? Joel Osteen. Who said that? How did you know I was talking about Joel right away?
I used to be in that, man.
You used to be a Joel Osteen person?
All into all that stuff, all the big time. Yeah, all the big time, big name preachers, I probably know them because that's what I grew up with and was indoctrinated with. So
amazing. And he is like an Oprah channel person too. I think he's on Open Network and all that kind of stuff. So he admitted, according to all the reports, that he cheated on his wife. And now he's going through a lot of trouble with it. What do you think about a preacher cheating on their wives? Preachers who cheat on their wives.
I think that a lot of them would probably try to excuse it by saying, well, I'm human, we're all human, we all mess up.
Well, allegedly he bought her a nice car for it. At least the wife got a Lamborghini or something. I'm like, cheat on me. And I'll go on stage and say, Satan made you do it.
Yeah. But I guess I do think that if you find that out about your preacher, you might not want to really fellowship with. I mean, you could fellowship with anyone, but you wouldn't want to be guided by that person anymore.
Right. Okay. Is that it? I'm sorry?
What else do you want to know?
That's it.
Okay.
Hermes, what do you think about the pastor cheating on his wife.
I mean, I don't think
So
about.
listen, relax, and it's not a contest. You can't win or lose. We're fellowshipping with one another, right? So cool out. Yes,
I mean, it's not uncommon for a lot of the, especially the black pastors.
it's not uncommon.
Yeah, because you hear.
You know a lot of preachers who cheat on their
I
wives?
know a handful. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all hang out together?
No, I don't personally know him, but I know of them. I don't know. I don't think much about what he did, but I think I saw the apology, and the apology just seemed so fake and phony. It didn't seem sincere at all.
And what was fake and phony about it?
I mean, he looked like he was just on stage at a regular Sunday service, like he was delivering a sermon. Didn't seem like
yeah, the music in the background.
all drama.
That was the apology? That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, should he cheat on his wife?
No.
Should the congregation be surprised he cheated?
I could see that, yeah, they should be.
Why?
Because he's supposed to be if you're a preacher, I'm assuming you've overcome sin.
Why would you assume
You've been
that?
born again. Why would he put himself in that position if he's not able to lead other people out of that lifestyle or help them see how to overcome that?
Why would you assume that he's supposed to be not doing it?
I wouldn't follow anybody that I didn't think was had more wisdom or understanding than I did,
Why not?
because they're gonna lead me to a ditch.
So if you follow a preacher who cheated on his wife, that would make you cheat on yours?
No, it would just be disappointing,
And why would you disappoint it?
because I would expect that person would be, should be a man of God, have overcome those things, and should be setting a higher example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Amazing. This is so good. This is like mind-blowing good. This is better than black walnut, peanut butter cookies, strawberry pop, all mixed together. What do you think about the priest that cheats on his wife?
I would hope that it wouldn't happen because the preacher respects the office in which he's in and understands that it is not just about himself and what he's feeling in the moment, but he understands that he is in charge of the spiritual growth of the people that are following behind him.
Right.
And so that he would be mature enough and emotionally sound enough to make the right decisions and have people around him that would help support him. And so when those thoughts start to come, that he can go and say, hey, I need help in this area, instead of just giving in and saying, this feels good in the moment. So that's, for me,
you
it's more
think
of
you're going to be at a hotel room with a woman, and you're in that moment, you're going to call up the congregation?
no, that's saying that you don't get in the
I
hotel
need
with the
help.
woman in that moment. So you don't get yourself in there. You travel with a male friend
Oh.
that's there with you, that's there to support you.
At the hotel with you and the woman?
Well, no, hopefully the woman's still not there. You don't get yourself in there with the woman.
I understand what you said. I'm messing with
Yeah, I understand.
you. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So what do you think about this guy, if it's true, John Gray? He cheated on his wife, and she might be pregnant. They don't know for sure. I don't know for sure if that's true or not, but that's a part of the saying too. And so, and I think she's like young, in her 20s. I mean, late teens or 20s. Would you expect your wife to stay with you?
Would I expect her to stay with me? No, I would not expect her to.
Even if you bought a Lamborghini?
I mean, I would hope that.
I'm like, honey.
I would hope, because of the sanctity of marriage, that they could work it out. But that's a lot to be asking for from any person, because it's a trust issue. It
Right.
becomes down to trust. And if he's still trying to do what God had put on his heart to do, like to reach the nations, the way in which he's doing, then he will still need to travel, and she would still need to trust him that if he goes out, he's not going to do it again.
This is so, I understand that, man. The young man in front of you want to respond. Let him have the mic.
Me?
I just see in your eye, you're dying to respond.
Okay.
So the preacher cheated on his wife allegedly.
Yeah.
And you could hear the tape where he was at the hotel where the woman was. He got the woman a room at the hotel. I guess he and his wife went to some hotel, and he got her a room, and he wanted to be with her, and she didn't want to be with him that day, I guess. He was like, "Are you saying you ain't gonna be with me?" I thought, I done done. And she recorded it. Guys, stop it. Don't text your cheating wife or woman. Don't call them on the phone and say anything, because they're going to record it. Don't y'all have sense enough to know that? This man left a voicemail. How do you leave a voicemail with your cheating girlfriend? And look like he would know better than that, right? He should have given some kind of code. Did you eat the watermelon yet? Is the fish ready at the cafe? Or something, you know? You're like, so if you found out that your preacher was cheating on his wife, how would you feel about that?
Obviously, like, he's a fake.
And why you say he's a fake?
Because he's not a living example of what
Of
he's
what?
preaching. You know, I'm sure he probably gave tons of, speeches on fighting temptation over the years to his congregation. And then after work, he was doing his thing. He was a
Should
bad
he
example.
apologize to the church?
Yeah, he should beg, but I don't.
He should beg.
He should beg for forgiveness.
Oh, Lord, please forgive
But I
me.
don't think it makes a difference at this point. I mean, he got caught, so he should
he
just
leave?
He should go away and figure, I don't know, go to Jerusalem or something and figure it out.
Are you a Jew?
No.
Oh.
No.
It's okay to be a Jew.
Yeah, I think so too.
Nothing wrong with being a Jew,
No.
all right?
Yeah, good food.
So he should leave the church.
Yeah, he needs to go away for a while and think about what he's done.
Would you forgive him for that?
Yes, I could forgive anybody for pretty much anything.
Yeah. And so
Personally.
if he came back and started preaching, would you listen to him?
No.
And why not?
Like I said, I just don't see, he's not a living example. But I don't know, you make me think and I go back and forth, but
But I want you to. That's why I'm asking.
it's
I want
you have to think about it.
to think for yourself. You'd be shocked. You really will. Okay.
I would, if he was standing before me and I was talking to him, I would be able to tell if he was sincere in his apology and his, in repenting and stuff.
And if he was sincere, would you listen to him preaching again?
I would hear what he has to say from, because that's an experience still. And then again, he's just a man, so you put any man on stage, he's going to get tempted. I mean, it can happen to anybody, but like it's not a good look for any preacher, and it happens a lot too.
What's not a good look?
For a preacher to cheat on his wife and everybody,
Yeah,
to
what
find
you
out.
think?
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. Okay, but would you listen to him preach anymore?
Like I said, it depends. I'd have to, probably meet with him on my own and just kind of get a feel for him.
All right.
So I think when I came in, you said, when I heard the story, I thought of you. I don't know if that's because you remember that I used to be a cheater. I'm not
You used
sure.
to be what?
A cheater.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh,
See,
okay.
you got her mind, right?
No, but
No, I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
Really,
Well,
I
maybe
just asked you
somewhere
because
down
you were a
deep.
lady, and I wanted to hear what the ladies thought about it.
Oh,
And
I'm a
I knew
lady.
you used to. And I knew you used to be into Bible thumping kind of stuff. That's why I asked, because you came from one of those type of churches, right?
No, not a Bible thumping church.
Oh, okay.
No, a
But
social
no,
justice
you
church. but not
cheated
a
on your
Bible
husband?
thumping church. Yeah, but what I wanted to
I
say.
told him what Faithful reminded me.
I wanted to say something about that because about the, whether that's a
Isn't that
sin
messy?
or whether you can be a Christian.
Then you told her he thinking about you now.
And I don't know how to justify what I'm going to say right now, but I'm just bringing it up just to fellowship because it's what's
Right.
in my mind.
Yes.
Is that I do feel like looking back, I know I was in a fallen state, and I thought I was a Christian, but I know I was in a fallen state for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel as though I've come out of that fallen state, and that if you're out of the fallen state, I don't think there's any way you could do that. But if sin is also just, feeling anxiety or something like that, like I still, in that state, you've come out of the fallen state, but you're growing in Christ, I think you can still feel anxiety, you can still start to feel anger, but then you see it, and you see what's wrong with it, and you can pull yourself out of it.
Right.
But to me, there's something different that I don't know how to justify that. What's different about the sin of feeling anxiety or starting to judge somebody versus the sin of actually cheating? To me, they're different somehow, but I don't know how. But I do think
Well,
that
when
you
you
can, and I do think
cheat-
he should step down because he's in a fallen
think
state
he
for sure.
should?
He's absolutely in a fallen state. He should not be a preacher if you're in a fallen state. And maybe he could get, I'm not saying forever, he could pull himself out of it, and he could be renewed in the future, and then maybe he could be a preacher again. But at this moment in time, he should definitely step away.
How about if his wife doesn't have a problem with it and she doesn't think he should step down?
I don't think that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what the wife thinks?
No. What matters is he's in a fallen state,
Oh, okay.
and you should not be leading other people. What, you're going to lead other people to hell, right?
No,
if
you're
you're in
gonna
a,
lead 'em to a
that's the only place you
hotel.
could lead people if you're.
Caesar, something else he said that I want to hear what you think about this. He said that he apologized and everything. He said, now I'm turning myself over to counselors and psychiatrists and expert people to help me overcome this, or to see why I did this, something like that. Should he turn himself over to experts?
No,
Why
absolutely
not?
not. Well, first of all, he shouldn't resign. He shouldn't step down.
You said, what now?
He shouldn't step down
And why not?
because he didn't. If he cheated, like he didn't cheat on me. Like I don't care. It had nothing to do with me.
Right, it happened to his wife.
Yeah, that's between him and his wife and God.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care.
But if
know
you
what
were
I'm
sitting in his congregation after you know what happened, you heard what happened, would you be sitting there thinking, yeah, what are you talking about, you little cheater?
Nah, because I don't think like that about any of my close friends. You know,
Oh, your friends cheat?
I know friends that cheat, but it's
You
none of
got a
my
lot-
business.
You got friends who cheat on their wives?
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
No
But it's
wonder.
not. See, it's not my business. I mean, it's not my business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
I can't judge him. you know,
Amazing.
so.
Should he step down if it's true?
Yes.
And why?
Because he's in a position of leadership, and by doing what he did, he stained his title of leadership in the leadership position that he's in, and he will have lost the trust of many of the people that follow him.
How about if his wife said, hey, don't worry about it, I'm okay with it. The devil made him do it. Y'all cool out. And he bought me a
not
limousine.
her-
What name that called? Lamborghini.
It's okay if she wants to forgive him and stay in the marriage, but she can't speak for the congregation.
How about if she promised you a ride in the car?
Then okay.
Let me tell you why I asked this. Because the Christians believe that it's impossible to be perfect. And that everybody sins even after they become children of God. They still sin. And that they can't help it. You can't help it. They teach that. They preach that. And so if they believe that everybody sin, why is it wrong for the preacher to do what he's doing and everybody get mad about it? They say you can't help it, that we all sin as children of God. So why are they mad at the man? Why would they not keep coming to church and praising the Lord, give a donation? If they believe that you could be a son, there's no different in the preacher than it is the rest of the Christians. So why are they mad at him? Aha! Because they teach that, right? So why are they mad? It should be, oh, the preacher cheated on his wife. That's something else. Y'all come on, praise the Lord. Because they say you can't help it, that you can't help us sin after you're born again. In a fallen state, you can't help it, but they say you still can do it, and they okay that. That's seal of approval for everybody. And if someone says that they don't sin, the Christians don't believe it. They're like, oh, you got to be sinning. So why are they mad at the preacher? I rest my case. Based on how they believe the preacher should go sin, tell his wife, buy her a car and a new dress, and come back Sunday and keep preaching. What do you think about that, Ernest? I thought all of you were going to say that, because most Christians believe that you can sin. What do you think
I
about
think you
that?
make a very good point. So
Why are they expecting the preacher to be perfect, but no one else can be perfect?
That's a good point.
I rest my case. This is what this is for. I rest my case. It's so judgmental. Either you believe that you can be perfect, or you don't believe it. And if you don't believe that you can be perfect, the preacher is not perfect. So you can expect one day to hear that he cheated, or he stole some money, or he did this, because he can't be perfect. He can't have it both ways. And if you believe that the preacher should be sinless, why don't you believe that for yourself? What's special about the preacher that he could be sinless, but you can't? It's so messed up in that world. Yes, Victoria.
When you are in the fallen state, do you believe that you truly know right from wrong?
No.
Okay. That was really just my question, because I know I can only speak for myself that when I...
In that fallen state, you could believe that it's right. But if you're a seeker, you know something is wrong, so you don't completely accept it as a right. You might not know how to overcome it, but you know that you know something wrong, but you can't. But there are people who literally think that in that fallen state, what they're doing is right. That's why they fight you on it when you disagree with them, because they are absolutely convinced that it's right.
Right.
And just like the Christians absolutely believe that you can't be a Christian and not sin. That's their thing. So they shouldn't be upset at John Gray. It shouldn't be gossip about or anything. John Gray should have showed up that night after he sinned. Y'all, I had some fun that night. I told my wife about it, and she said, "That's all right, honey, just buy me a car." If they believe that, they have a higher standard for the preacher than they do themselves. But if the preacher told them, "Hey, y'all, don't sin," they'll get mad at him. But when he sinned, they get mad at him.
Right.
What the? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I believe, like kind of what I was saying, where we put too much stock in flesh and blood. Like, everybody was born of
That's
their mother
right.
just like I was.
That's why I want you to know that you know that you know, not because I said it or my mama or anyone else. You need to know for yourself. Because look at all the confusion what was happening with John Gray.
And I think if everybody were to just say, okay, he did that, moving on, because my relationship with God is more important than that, none of this hoopla would have taken place if everybody was focused and just looking straight ahead at God.
And plus, all the
doesn't
people who
matter.
are judging John Gray are sinners.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be judging John Gray.
Exactly.
You know, they will understand. Amazing.
Okay, I'm sorry, but the last part of my question was when you said the thing about not knowing if it's right or wrong and you feel wrong, my question is that thing that pushes you forward into that wrong behavior, even though you had that nudge that said it was wrong, is going into that behavior what is considered the fallen state? Because you
Yes.
already knew.
Yeah, because you're controlled by your mind. You're tempted by darkness, and you find yourself going into it a little bit more because you need to be born again in order to come out of it.
So the going
You need the
into
light.
it is that's the indicator that you're not truly born again.
Yes.
Okay, because I get caught up in the nudge and I think, oh, that means I'm awake, but then I still move forward and do it anyway.
Right.
So, okay,
Don't judge yourself when that happens.
thank you.
All right? Am I wrong by this, what I just said? They teach that. You can't be perfect. We all sin. Only Jesus was perfect. So why are they thinking the preacher is better than the rest of them? You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Maybe you're going to get to it, but what is the right way for the congregation to deal with it? If that happens, well, it does happen, sometimes. So what's the right way for the congregation to?
Well, the right way would be not to judge the man if they have been born again and understood. But they're not born again, so they're judging the man. And they're gonna turn on him and all kind of stuff. But the right way would be not to judge him.
But do you think he should remain in that position as the pastor?
Well, in that situation, because it's a judgmental congregation and everybody's in a fallen state, he's not going to be able to remain. He won't be, because they're going to run him out. They're going to run him out because they have judged him. Because they have this higher standard for him than they do themselves and don't realize what they're doing. Did he sin, the preacher, when he cheated on his wife?
Yeah,
He sinned?
Uh-huh.
And why do you say yes?
because he committed adultery.
And that's a sin?
Yeah,
Okay.
at least from my understanding, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Did he sin?
I believe he did
And
sin.
why do you believe that?
Like the gentleman said, he committed adultery.
He did what?
He committed adultery.
And that's a sin?
Yes,
And why do you say that's a sin?
because it's cheating. I mean, you're like the gentleman said. I mean, I didn't volunteer to say something, but I agree. He's in a marriage, in a covenant, and you're expected to be loyal to each other.
It's about how Dalton come here for a minute. You expect to be what?
To be loyal to each other.
Who made that expectation?
That's why you get married, right?
I'm messing
You know,
with
okay.
Did he sin? Right here. You guys heard him on the radio Friday? Yeah. What's your name? Zaire?
Zaire.
Zaire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
Did
got
you
it.
guys hear him on the radio?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Did he sin when he cheated on his wife?
I don't know. This is so. My journey's been unique, and I kind of reached a place where I realized, because coming up Catholic, I had certain ideas of what these words mean.
Yeah.
And then when I reached a place where I just realized that I was looking for answers through other people and looking, all these words kind of just became, I don't know exactly what they mean anymore. So
Right on.
I'm kind of on a journey of like seeking what that even means. So I feel like I can answer that.
So are you from Kosovo? Wisconsin?
Kosovo? I don't even think Kosovo exists anymore. Wasn't that like Eastern Europe?
Oh, is it exist?
No, you're thinking of Kenosha though. But I'm
Yes.
from Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. That's where the riots and
But
stuff
yeah,
happened.
yeah. But Wisconsin and Minneapolis are right next to each other.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Derek, did he sin?
No, he didn't.
And why you say no, he didn't?
The sin isn't cheating. The sin would be playing God. That he's, that he can do whatever.
Absolutely right. The sin is the judgment, the hate, playing God. He broke the commandment, but he did not sin. The sin is playing God, judging your fellow man. The congregations are sinning by hating him for it, judging him. But he did not sin. He did break the commandment. And you can't keep the commandment if you've not been born again of God. It's impossible. You must be born again of God. And then, I wanted to ask you, Doug, you heard my answer. I hope you would be honest. Did he sin?
I was going to say exactly what he said.
So what?
I was going to say no,
And why?
for the same reason.
It's hard to know now, huh? I'm about to ask you another question. But you're right. He did not sin. But the Christians say sin is lying, stealing, and killing. But nowhere in the scriptures it says it's a sin. It says keep these commandments. Here's what happened if you don't. Here's what happened if you do. And you can't keep those commandments until you're born again of God, because everything is spiritual. We are a spirit. And that's why you have to be born again of the Spirit in order to do that. Let me just take here first. And then the call. And then, yes, sir.
Just real quick. So, if he judges himself, then he's sinning. Would you say?
If he
After he performs the act, breaks
no,
the commandment.
no. What the?
You know what I mean? Like, because you're saying because the congregation's
saying
judging
that-
him, so they're sinning, correct?
No, I'm saying that sin itself is man playing God.
Right.
When you hate yourself and others, when you judge people, when you have opinions about things, when you think you know what you want, you're playing God.
Right.
And no one should enter into the kingdom of heaven if they play God.
Okay.
If they judge themselves and other people. If they have anger, resentment, or hatred. Hatred is the real word, but the people softened it down through the years, but anger is still hatred. And anyone who has anger is playing God.
Okay.
Now, hopefully if that church, the members had overcome that, and they found out that the preacher did it, they will understand it, they will see what type of action to take based on insight, based on love and not on hate.
Okay, I got that. So if I'm in that position and I did that, and then I'm judging myself, or I'm judging what I did,
Yes.
am I playing God and sinning?
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's enough to see that it's wrong, but it's wrong to judge yourself for it.
got you. Okay.
And one of the things that really clue about this guy, he has not been born again of God. So he said, I feel like I've gone against my grandmama, my mama's mama, my mama, and some other mama.
He said that?
Oh, and my wife. The man has not overcome the woman. No wonder he's cheating. He's still in that fallen state, so he's subject to women. And then being a popular guy like that and having money and name, women are waiting for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't resist it because the woman is still his God. He has not been born again yet.
I see it.
That makes sense?
Yep, completely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me take this call and then I'll take you. Okay. Hey, Nick, welcome to church.
Hey, Jesse.
An hour.
Good service so far. I wanted to say one thing about judgment, because I think we have to make judgments and decisions every single day of our life.
No.
And, well, like, even for picking out your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you're judging them. You're picking this one over
That's
that.
not true. Once you're born again of God, you become the observer, and the light is guiding you. It really, really is. And it's amazing, and everything you do, everybody you hang out with, it's amazing.
So,
if you make
so
a
if I
decision
tell
about it, you're going to make the wrong decision. I'm telling
If
you.
I tell you that I don't do the silent prayer, and you tell me suffer and die, are
Right.
you making a judgment?
No. A judgment is
Okay.
when, if I hated you for it. There's a thing called discernment. You can see it, but don't hate it, and you're protected from it. You can speak up about it. You can get loud, but you can't hate.
But so, well, are you conflating judgment with hate then? Because I agree with you. There's a difference between discernment and judgment.
You say, am
And
I
I think you're
conflating
right
judgment
there.
with hatred?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both the same.
Okay, that makes it more clear for me then.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate it, buddy. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make sure, is this a recent story about John Gray?
Yes.
So this is actually the second time that he cheated on his wife.
I heard.
Yeah.
The women went.
Yeah.
And not the first time.
Yeah, and then the first time he cheated on his wife, he bought her a Lamborghini for forgiveness.
Oh, that was for the first cheating?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they
what
were
did he
about
buy
to.
for the second cheating?
I don't know what he's gonna get for the second cheating, but I just wanted to. I think I just wanted to share. It might be a little bit hard for the congregation to forgive him again, just because it's the second time.
But they should. They believe that you can't be a Christian and not sin. The
Yeah.
preacher is no different.
Yeah, I know.
And so they have no right to judge him if they believe that.
Yeah, I was just sharing, like, it might be a little bit harder, but yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I see what you
yeah,
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're judging him too. That's what's happening. So that's my thing with that. So if the Christians believe that you cannot help but sin as a child of God, y'all need to back off John Gray. He's a human being, a Christian human being. So you got to make up your mind if you believe you can sin or not. You can't have it both ways, all right? And by the way, we have the best counseling service. Don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, share, ring the bell, and all that good stuff. And thank you for supporting Bond, your tithe and office. I absolutely appreciate it. And we will read your super chats to D-Live tomorrow as well. And I'm going to try and move more calls. So I know a lot of people call in, and I don't get to your calls. We're going to change that a little bit. And so have a good day to the rest of the day and tomorrow. And thank you so much for joining us in church. I absolutely appreciate it. And thank you all as well. It was amazing. Oh, amazing.